Welcome to Proudly Said, where we bring bold voices and real stories together. I'm John Hyland, Scouse, queer, and still trying to make sense of it all. And this space is for the stuff we don't always say out loud, though we probably should. Let's get into it. I've got into this really weird habit of doing my intro, and I've realised I've got a pre-recorded fucking intro on this thing.
Oh, do it anyway. I want to hear it.
Welcome to another episode of Proudly Said, the LGBTQ plus podcast. See, I can't get it out. The LGBTQ plus podcast, where we do bold voices and real stories. And if you notice, I have to look at it every time I say it because I can't remember the order.
Bold voices, real stories.
Yes, that's what we do. So I was with big thank you because once again, we are in OMG. This is my third recording here, and I want to thank them for their hospitality. And the reason why we're in OMG tonight, and it's a Tuesday, because it is Genevieve Renée's residency night. I want to say hosting night, then it's like, it's not hosting night.
Depends what you want to call it, babes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, you know. It's nice to be back in my corner.
Do you know what? It's actually a really nice setup though. Like everything, I feel like it looks really nice.
It does. Like Regina's episode's out at time of recording, and it's like she was the first one. We got the lighting right. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna make this my little home.
Yeah. I like that.
And we were making a joke because I went to call you Regina then. Jen got here early.
I got here early. What the hell? That's never happened.
Do you have a reputation for not being?
Actually, you know what? I don't think I do. I'm normally one of the ones who does turn up on time. But today I was like, I've got so much stuff on. I was like, tight schedule. And every time I'm rushing and thinking about I'm under pressure, something always goes wrong that really winds me up. But everything has gone smooth. Touch this plastic wood.
This plastic wood. Oh,
it looks like wood, but I think it's plastic. It's coated. I don't know.
Would affect plastic.
To be honest, the lights are on. I'm never in here when the lights are on. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the dark corner of OMG. What's
going on. For anyone who's watching, the framing's a bit weird because I've had to account for Genevieve's hair.
Here we go. Is that better?
So you were saying this, like, so you had a bit of your day job earlier on today. So how long did it take you to get ready tonight?
About an hour.
That's good going.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're liking the hair today.
Yeah. Everything's, I mean, to be fair, I sort of know what I'm doing, if that makes sense, with my face. Because it's like, it's one of those things that everyone always goes like, you know, when you get the girls and they're like, oh my God, like, how long does it take you to get ready? I'm like, well, about 45 minutes, like an hour. And then like, I can't do my makeup that quick. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm just used to slap it on. I know exactly where it goes. And I say that, like, you know, I'm not makeup queen or anything, but
you know what you're doing. You know your face.
I know my face, and I know what colours going where, what brushes, what crap's on this brush, I'm going to stick it on my face. Do you know what I mean? And I always say, like, if I go wrong with something, like a bit of eyeliner or something, just draw it a bit bigger. It's drag makeup in here.
Just make it a bit bigger. Yeah,
just make it a bit bigger.
Bigger is better.
There has been times, I'm not as bad as I used to be, my hand's a bit steadier now, but there has been times where I've just ended up coming in with like eyeliner up here because I've just gone. Like when I'm hanging from the Friday night and I'm ready to like do a Saturday shift, I'm like, and it just keeps going. You go up and up and up, and it's like, yeah. Next thing you know, you got a full black forehead because you've done that much.
Just wearing a mask.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, do you know what? Face kini tonight, babes. RuPaul had the right idea, and COVID.
So let's start at the beginning because
Very good place to start.
It is. Oh, all right. Sound of music. Took a while to click. Genevieve Renée. It's like, take me to the name. That's an interesting, that doesn't roll off the tongue like
Genevieve Renée.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, does it? I mean, so I'm like a French obsessed person. Like, I say that, not that much, not after my degree, that ruined it for me. But I was studying French and Italian at uni, so I love languages and cultures. I love the French language, and I was like, do you know what, I want to play on that. And then there was this like, I was watching the originals at sort of the time that I sort of got into drag. And there was like a character on it called Genevieve, who's like a witch, and I just thought she was a badass. And I was like, Diva, I'm going to sort of take that name. And then Renee is like a name, but it sort of derives from the word Rene, which is queen in French.
I like
Renee.
that.
So there is a meaning to
like,
it.
There's full on intelligence to that.
There is some.
I don't mean to sound surprised. I'm sorry.
Yeah, everyone always goes, oh, like, there's not like your name's just like random two things. It's not. To me, it is like.
But I like that though when you've got, especially if it's a character that like it's a bad girl boss.
Yeah, she is. And I mean, and she was like a classy one, and she was like an old French witch, like back in the 20s, like very pretty. She was ginger. Yeah, it was just stunning. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to channel your energy, babes.
So is that what Genevieve Renée is, like, as the character? She's meant to...
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, that's just, I liked that name and that sort of that class. So I was like, that's what I want to bring. Obviously, I've never ended up bringing that. To be fair, Genevieve it's a funny one, I always say, because Genevieve is Joseph and Joseph is Genevieve. I feel like there's not that much of a separation between the two. I think I've merged, because a lot of my social life does revolve around Genevieve, a lot of it has... Genevieve has, I wouldn't say taken over, but she's molded Joseph a bit recently.
But do you think that's to betterment, though? Like, it's to make you more confidence and stuff?
I mean, I was always quite a confident individual anyway. Like,
there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, babes.
No, there's no. I'm gonna shove this up. No, I mean, no. I think I've always been confident, as in, you know, like, not, but I wouldn't say performance, but confidence as in, like, you know, I've always been like a public speaker.
Yeah, you as a
I've
person.
always done sort of like, you know, acting and stuff like that, and, you know, speaking, and I was like, you know, oh, God, I'm gonna sound awful. Like, I was like house captain and then eco council, and I used to be the junior captain of Beedale Golf Club, and, you know, I've done all that weird stuff. Yeah. So I'm used to like holding a room and like being confident. So yeah, I mean,
it was a natural progression from all that stuff to drag.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that eco captain, house captain, council.
It's crazy.
Drag queen.
I don't even know how this happened. Like, if I look back at myself in that mirror there and just go, show off.
How did this happen? So, what was the journey into drag?
It was when I moved here about 5 years ago. We were going into like a sort of second lockdown. It was during uni. So then, like, halfway through it, I went, I'd met Violet in town. Sort of became sort of friends a little bit. Like, we didn't really know each other. It was just like, you know, a drag queen in a bar. Yeah. So I was like, I'd messaged on like Instagram, whatever, and I just went, all right, I want to do for my flat. I was like, right, we're gonna do a drag night, and I'm gonna host it. And we're gonna play some games and stuff as a flat. Can you give me some tips? That happened. Anyway, I came out of lockdown. I went out once in drag. Then I used to work at a restaurant, Amalia, in town.
Oh yes.
And one of the waitresses was friends with Vanilla Bonbon, who was doing a charity gig. I got asked if I'd do it. I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
If looks good,
I'll tell you about that in a minute. That was that gig I'll never forget. And then after that night, Violet messaged me going, "You're doing that gig tonight, aren't you? Pop into Icon." It was RIP.
Yeah.
And come in. So they hadn't had any door staff. There was only the drag queen DJs. And they went, would you like to come and do a trial shift next week on the door? And then next thing you know, the rest was history. And
Genevieve Renée just carried on.
Yeah. And I think I was really lucky that I'd been able to do it sort of as my main focus of a career, because it was whilst I was at uni. So I had 3-4 years of being able to do it as a side hustle. I didn't need a full income, focus on it. And now it is sort of my main career is entertainment.
I love that.
So I've just been really lucky with timings, I think.
But that's really nice. Like, it's not like a case of, if anything, it shows the difference. Like, I think I was saying this to Katonas, like, years ago, it'd be just a case of someone going on a night out, get spotted, you come out and get in drag. Whereas now it's like, you know what, I'm going to do something. So is Genevieve Renée always, not the intention for the role, but I mean, like, you organising this event, you're going to do it in drag. Was the name Genevieve Renée, or did you play with some bits and bobs?
Yeah, no, I've never. It was actually way before I started drag. I was just like one of those jokey things, like, what would my drag name be?
And then it became reality.
Like, Genevieve Renée. Yeah, and I was like, oh, it sort of was like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, that's reason I picked it. I was like, Genevieve, and I was like, Genevieve Renée. I think it was probably even just like a bedroom thought, like, do you know what I mean? Because I always said to myself, I would never do drag. I was like, I would take away the appreciation for it, and then here I am.
Now you are being appreciated.
We'll go with that.
I feel like, okay, you mentioned the story in Amalia, and I think that's a nice segue if you tell me the story into what I want to go and see next. So, like, what was that?
So, there was this charity gig, and it was in, where was it? Tobruk. Because I went Tobruk to someone, and I went, what's that? I went, I don't know.
Oh, a venue in Tobruk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tobruk. I got to Tobruk. And I rocked up to it, and I'd created this mashup of cupcake vagina,
Okay.
Swagger Jagger Cher Lloyd and like some other memes bits in there. And it was quite funny, very me.
Yeah.
Like stupid. And there was a tiny element of a slutty. I wouldn't say sluttiness, just that being a slag. Do you know what I mean?
Say that
again. being a slag. And I rocked up to this event and I just looked at the audience and it was all like basically middle-aged plus people. Like,
what is this?
Like all straight. And I was like, oh,
what am I doing?
But it was funny. And I did it in a little sheen dress and a go-go boots.
I love it. You had your own Priscilla moment.
And she was a diva, 2 sets of eyebrows, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I actually ended up doing the same event for Vanilla like 5 months later, a Christmas one, but I charged her then because I was like, well,
I'm
earning now, so babes. Like it wasn't much, it was like 30 quid, but because it was before a gig, it was like a charity thing anyway. And I ended up getting the LGBT Foundation. I was like, basically, I was like, I want to do this number. It falls condoms. But I was like, I don't want to pay for any because I'm a tight ass. So I messaged him. I was like, I want to do this thing, but like send some leaflets over. And they sent me this full massive box of condoms and leaflets. So I just,
wow.
I mean, I've still got some left. And it's like 4 years later. I mean, I went through a drawer the other day. No, it snaps. It's like brittle. That was like my breastplate the other day. I went to myself, I'm going to wear my breastplate. I've not worn it in ages. And it was that brittle. It just snapped straight. Oh, it was awful.
How old is... Well, you've only been doing drag 5 years. Surely they should last longer than that.
No, not the cheap ones from AliExpress.
Okay, so you started in an event, and now it seems like you've done like a full circle moment because you seem to be non-stop organising events for other queens, and I think it's really nice the way you've done it because as much as they do act as fundraisers, I like the way you've positioned them more. They're more about bringing the community together as well as the drag community together. Like, why did you think you wanted to start to get into all that?
I mean, so when I had like Drag Me to Cabaret and stuff, and you know, like events organising is like something that I really like, and I think I'm okay at doing. So, and then that went all down the pan when Navy got sold. So I had a bit of free time. I was also in a period where I was, you know, panicking a lot. I was going, you know, I've lost most of my income. Yeah. You know, I only had OMG at the time left because I'd lost, you know, 2 nights a week work and a business. So I was like going, I need to turn my life around. I had no notice. So I had no income coming in. I ended up having to go on universal credit, and it was like a really tough time. I'd just finished uni as well, and I didn't think this was going to happen. I just signed like a year lease on somewhere. So I was like, and I don't like relying on other people. I never rely on my parents for money ever. Like I refused to. It's like a principle thing. So it was, I just thought, right, whilst I'm looking for jobs or looking at what I can do, I am gonna focus my energy into something that can be positive. Mm-hmm. So I thought, right, I want to do a charity event, use my skills. I want to give something back to the community. So I was like, right, See House, brilliant charity. Why not? And then I thought as well, you know, like the community here, the drag community needs to come together. There's no opportunity for a lot of like new performers or different performers. So like, why not let them showcase it? Yeah. And it's just something for, you know, to bring people into Gay Town, to bring people together, to, you know, and it was one of those things as well, you know, if I've got this on my CV, is, you know, there was selfish reasons behind it. I do want to look at, you know, if I can pull off an event like that, or like, for example, the Snatch game,
which was amazing,
which was an absolutely incredible, like blew my mind at the fact that I've managed to pull something like that, like out of my ass basically. And, you know, I was like, you know what, maybe I can do this. I was like, brilliant. And that's why I just want to carry on doing it. I've started this sort of train and this ball that's rolling. Let's stick with it. Let's stick with what we can do. And, you know, like Viv said to me, she texted me after the event and went, you know what you're doing for the gay scene is like brilliant. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I just was like, do you know what? That means so much. And you know what? I'm going to keep doing it. So here I am. I'm going to keep on bringing these events. And
I love that because I think, because we had a conversation about it, because you were like, if Viv could just come and maybe just do a little Donald Trump impression.
All I wanted was a sentence.
And literally she's like, I'll just do it.
And I was like, okay. I was like, because I'd been watching Viv for years before I'd started doing drag. And I was like, oh, you know, an absolute icon. And then for Viv to be like, you know, to say they'll do this event for charity, you know, that I'm organising. Obviously, you know, it's mainly because you'd asked and whatever. But it was just, you know, it's such like a big thing. Like, I think Snatch Game is still the biggest thing in my career.
It was incredible, and in fact, I think what was really cool about it was it just seemed to just happen. I know there's lots of work, and I don't mean that as a
what I mean sleepless nights, John.
On the night itself, and like if the place filled up, you had a couple of maybe like the odd little door fare, but the vast majority had bought in advance, and like you had the stage set up properly, you had everything sorted. It was fantastic. Like I don't think the community's seen something like that for a very long time.
I don't think anything of that level had been put on. And you know, it was all these people that I'd known through connections as well, like the raffle prizes we got. I spoke to like, you know, people who own stages and lighting. I was like, right, just these tiny little details that I wanted, that I knew people who could get everything for free, not a single thing cost.
That's amazing.
I literally saw every ticket cost, price, whatever you want to call it, that was bought went straight to Sahia because everyone did it for free.
Yep.
All the raffle prizes were free.
Yep.
The venue was free.
Yep.
Advertisement was free.
Yep.
Literally I'm not even joking, everything was. And I mean, you look at it and you go, you know, there was 200 plus people in there, loads of media attention. So all the businesses got something out of it. They also look good. Oh yeah, and the venue made money. So, you know, you can't complain.
Exactly. And I think and then it's like wanting to carry on.
So that's why I ended up doing the Eurovision event, was because I was like, right, so I want to give another venue another chance. I want to, you know, I don't want to, why are we competing? We shouldn't be. And also the event I wanted to put on would work better it was in OMG. So the Eurovision event, I was like, it's, you know, the stage and lighting and everything down here is absolutely phenomenal. Why is this space not being used? I spoke to Alfie and I said, I want to do an event in here. Can we book one in? And we did.
I love that. I'm going to do an event. Not can we? I am.
No, but that's the thing. They actually, that's not fully true. They did speak to me and they said, oh, it was straight after that, and we'd love you to put one on. So then I went, right, Alfred, let's have a meeting. Go on, like I've got some ideas. Boom. I sat down. I went, right, I'm going to put an event on in here. And he was like, yeah, Brill, go for it. And I was like, Eurovision event, AllStars. Boom. This is my plan. I'll message you in a couple of weeks. When I've messaged around everyone, got an idea together. Boom, and it was done.
And I think that's how simple it can be.
It's not, I mean, there's not a lot to it in regards to, there's a lot of, you know, organisation, you need to make sure everything's right, but there's not that many components to it, especially in the community, because they all want to get together and do it. Everyone wants to support each other. I messaged a load of people, went, do you want to do it? Yeah, no, whatever, that's fine. Figure out a running order.
Which is forever changing.
And then I had people messaging me going, forever. You know what? It's the last 2 days that are always, you know, the 48 hours before, which is the one where I'm like,
everything's sorted. Who's going to drop out? Who's going to want to do it instead?
But then when I booked this one in, I booked another event in back at Superstar Boudoir, and then I've got another one in my head that I've not done anything with, but I think I might scrap that idea and do something else. I'm still working. I've got another event with my new job that I've started happening this week, so I need to get that out of the way and then I can focus.
Non-stop, Genevieve. Non-stop.
I'm non-stop.
Stop going out of shot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just having a fag off screen.
You might look like Jonah Lumley right now.
What else is it? I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so then it was, I mean, from the Snatch game, I actually ended up working just on a brief contract with a charity called Be Free Campaign, which are a fabulous charity. So, you know, go and support them if you can. A mental health charity. And they had an event coming up and they just needed a bit of help. It wasn't particularly organised. It was more sort of like getting the event out there and selling it. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to come and help you. It was just a few hours a week and I went and helped them and it was really fun and I enjoyed that. And then, you know, everything that's added to my CV, I've managed to actually create a career out of, you know. I'm still...
And I think what's nice about it is, as much as you say at the start, like there's selfish reasons to it,
it's not...
There's selfish reasons to everything, but what I mean is like the fact that a lot of what you've done has been about giving back though.
It is. It's entirely, I mean, you know, the majority of it is giving back, but you can tailor it to benefit you.
Of course.
And I said to every queen who goes and comes and performs for me, I've said, you know, you don't know who's in that audience.
Yep.
I'm giving you the opportunity to come and do it. You know, I'm not asking for a lot. It's one number and it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to come and do this event, you can might whinge that you're not paid or you're not paid enough or whatever. That shouldn't be the reason you're doing it. The reason you should be doing it is, you know, A, it's a charity. B, you're giving back. And C, you don't know who's watching you in that audience. You don't know the bar staff, the managers, the people on the camera, what's going to happen, who they're going to see. If you are good at what you are good at, they will see you and you will get something out of it. So it's not selfish. You know, you should always say yes because you don't know what's going to happen.
And I suppose, especially in this current day and age, it's quite difficult because we were saying before camera, like the nighttime economy seems to be really struggling at the minute, especially our LGBT venues.
God knows why.
And Liverpool seems to be like getting a bit thin on the ground when it comes to LGBT venues, but drag queens are booming. So where y'all working?
You tell me. It's awful. I wouldn't want to be a new baby queen. Like I'm not a baby queen. Like I've not been doing it that long, but I wouldn't want to be just starting out now because there's not a chance in hell you're going to get on the scene. Do you know what I mean? It's not where you're going. There's not enough for us. I only work on a Liverpool scene one night a week as a resident.
Then where else are you?
I literally work in OMG on a Tuesday night. That's it in Liverpool.
And then where else do you work?
I work in Chester quite a bit, so I'm there about 4 or 5 times a month. And then my other residency is DJ, and I only do that as a boy in Mansion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do it in drag if I've got a gig after. Dream Boys, yeah. So, I mean, it's great. Like, I love it, but there's not much for us. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so how do you think we can change that? Just with your, I'm only asking that question because of your background and stuff. To be fair, that was a random off the cuff question.
I mean, a lot of it is, go out and support places. Go out and go out and have a drink there. Don't slag Liverpool off. The Liverpool scene is great. It's phenomenal. There's so much talent here. Don't go, I'd rather go to Manchester or this, that, and the other. Like, don't. You've been stupid. Like, yeah, Manchester's great, but like, if you're whinging that it's not good enough or it's not busy, this is one of my pet peeves. Oh my God. People walking into a bar, seeing there's no one in, turning around and leaving. I was like, if you need a bar to be busy to have a good night, that shows a lot about you.
Interesting, because I must admit I would be one of those people to begin with, to be fair, a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna completely, I mean, sometimes occasionally I'm like, I could do with it being busier, but I'll come in to sometimes I go on a Saturday night and I go in like here, I'll go into Boudoir or whatever, and it's that busy, I'm like, can you be asked? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be sardines. And then like I'll go out on like a Monday night, there's like 5 people in the bar and I'm with like 2 of my friends. I'd be like, do you know what? I'm going to get absolutely rat ass and have an absolute ball. I can dance around. I can be a bit of a tit.
And you're with your mates.
I'm having fun with my mates. I've had most of my best nights out are on the quieter nights where I'm out with just like 1 or 2 people.
Yeah. I love that.
If you need to go into a busy bar and it needs to be ram-packed for you to have fun and have a good night, that shows a lot about your personality and the people that you're with. And
it says a lot, actually, because we all know, like, we at time of recording, this will be out after Pride, but in the run-up to Pride, those venues are going to be jam-packed, and they are like saunas.
Oh, it is. It's not a drag queen-friendly place. God, no. But there we go. Happy days. I think that is one of my mottos. Is I've always said this, and people will come in and like, especially when I used to work at said venue, sometimes people would come in and like earlier on and they'd have a nose. You literally see them do like this walk around, see no one's in, and then leave. And I'd be like, I'd just be speaking to them on the mic, but they're just like ignore you and just like, I'm like, oh my God, if you literally like, and I was like, if everyone has that mentality, there's gonna no one in the
no
whole
one's
night.
Ever gonna come in. Yeah, you gotta go. That's a very good point, to be fair. And especially, I love that you're just watching yourself in the mirror.
I know. I keep clocking that little bit of lace that's lifted. I'm glad I went on this side because this one's not as bad. I need to cut it a bit more.
I mean, you did only get it, today? Yesterday?
No, I got a couple of weeks back.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I cleaned the lace last night, actually, yeah.
One of Brenda's.
Yeah, I'm one of Brenda's. But, I mean, who doesn't wear Brenda wigs, do you know what I mean?
I remember she used to go by Wendy. She doesn't do it, just Brenda's wigs now. She used to be Wendy's original wigs.
Wendy's? Oh,
yeah.
God.
If you ever go on YouTube and watch when Vivian painted, is it James St. James? Oh my God, Jen. Right, okay. So there used to be this on World of Wonders YouTube channel. James St. James was like this massive clubber from the years ago. And he had a series where different drag queens, mostly RuPaul's Drag Race queens, would paint his face. I can't remember what it was called. But when Viv went out there as part of her ambassador prize, she painted him and she brought him a wig, and it was one of Brenda's wigs, which ended up actually in RuPaul's Drag Race's workroom. But yeah, Wendy's original wigs.
Wendy's. Okay, I didn't know that.
I think she's dropped it. I think she's now just Brenda.
It's just, Brenda, Wigs and Things, the page on Facebook.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I spent ages trying to get onto that. And then one night she was drunk and I went, go and add me to it now. And then she added me to it. She's like, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. I was like, yeah, add me. And then she posted me, you had to be first there. So I had my notifications turned on for Brenda for Wigs and Things.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I went through a phase when I first got in there. I went a bit mad and got like 6 wigs. And I went, oh crap, I've not got the room for these.
I need to wear them.
Yeah, I know. I've just done a massive like throwing out session. Well, not throwing out. I gave somebody a couple and I sold a couple on Vinted.
Oh,
only for like a tenner. They're like not even worth a tenner.
How much did you pay for them though?
Yeah, but they're that ratty. I'm so bad at looking after wigs because I get drunk and then I'll wake up the next morning and there's like a wig up there and like this, there. And I'm like, no wonder they're like...
Hey, drag's expensive. Why don't you look after it?
Yeah, but at the time, I don't realise that I'm not looking after it.
Are you one of them where you do your shift and then go a party afterwards?
No, well, I mean, not as much as I used to. I'm boring now. But yeah, I used to be a bit feral. So it was one of those things, you know, we used to shut icon at like 3:00. And then me and like Ruby would go out and just go absolutely like mental. And like, you know, I'd be in G-bar till 7 and end up in someone's gaff.
Oh my God.
And like full geesh or something. Do you know what I mean? And the amount of times, this one time I wore a beehive. That's funny. I was in G-bar and I'd been to the loo and I'd walked out the loo and I walked in the middle of the dance floor and I went, it's cold. And I went, and my wig had gone and it was swinging from that like triangle thing in the door. And everyone's looking at me like absolutely wetting themselves. I'm like, just taking it clean off. And I was that drunk, I didn't know. It was just swinging in the doorway.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Nowhere.
Like your wig.
Yeah, wasn't going anywhere. I was, like, wasn't.
You mentioned Ruby there, so I wanna ask about the Renees.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed. Okay, so I've done.
This is brilliant because Katie said to me yesterday, Miss Robin, she said to me, if you don't mention me on a podcast, I'm going to kill you.
Well, I feel like I have to get into families because I've had this conversation with both Katona and Regina. But
I don't think you should.
About families.
Yeah.
But there does seem to have been, I think Rene and Payne seems to have been around all over Liverpool at the minute. And I feel like I need to delve into it.
I mean, I was one. I was a Payne.
You were a Payne?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple of Renees.
Yeah.
So again, is this just a thing where we think there's like it's just a nice way to mark people getting you into drag, or
there's no drama at all. We absolutely love each other, we adore each other, and we still act like, you know, we did before, and it just went, you know, I wasn't really using the Payne name anyway. I was using Renee because it was just too much of a mouthful. It didn't fit.
Yeah, Genevieve Renée Payne.
And it was like in a way like we sort of drifted a bit, and it was like as friends, and then I ended up having Robin and Shag because I live with Robin. She's my best friend. She's absolute legend. She's basically like a small female version of me.
She is. I can actually attest to that.
She is, and I love it. She's the most perfect person to be my drag daughter, little Robin Renee. And then I sort of like adopted Shag Tagler, and she's phenomenal as well. So I mean, it was just like, you know, if I'm having my own, and we still like that. We still get on really well. I love the House of Pain. I love, obviously, Ruby is basically like my sister anyway, because we, you know, we start at the same time in the same venue. Yeah. We get on like that. We're really good friends. So it's just, yeah. I mean, the drag family thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Say it is. It's a load of bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're just friends, and it's usually just like mentoring a bit. Like, yeah. I've been on the scene a bit longer than the other two, and I was like, oh, just take my name, this, that, and the other. Like, that's happened with Violet. Violet was like a bit of a mentor. Like, we never really did that much for each other. Like,
that's what I mean. That's why I like to ask the question, because I feel like in America, the drag family thing it does seem to be like Vogue houses where they genuinely act like families.
It's not.
Whereas here, it's not.
You know, bitch, I'm dying for you. Like, piss off. Do you know what I mean? You're not my actual family, but like we're friends, and it's
and we'll
help each other. And the way it works is like, you know, Robin, or like if I, you know, have something, I'd be like, you do this, or like when there was a Eurovision event, I was like, you know, I'm using my knowledge and experience of the career and my career in the industry to sort of guide you in this direction. And she listened to me. And she did phenomenally, and it was one of the best performances of the night on that Eurovision event.
Let's not talk about Eurovision.
That was so funny. Thanks to you as well, John. But it's one of those things. It's like you look at each other and you ask each other. And this is the thing. Like I ask Robin for stuff. Like today, I message her, go, oh, I don't know what colour lip to do. Help! And she goes, nude. I'm like,
I was gonna say nude.
Yeah, but I was like, I want to do a bit of colour. Do you know what I mean? But
bit of a pop.
Yeah, a bit of a pop. But she was like, dude. I was like, Brill, there you go. Decided. Like tiny little things. It's stupid, and it's like a drag family is basically just drag queens with friends.
Yeah, they just want to help each other out.
And it is. I mean, the whole of Liverpool scene is a drag family. You know, we all look after each other.
That's definitely the best way.
We're not like this thing like Regina. Like me and Regina are such good friends. You know, we were always like, if there's anything that we're unsure about or whatever, we'll just. Or like we need to have a little bitch about something, we do.
You can see it's mostly just like bants. It's all bants.
It is. And like I've got a group chat
Got too many group chats is what you've got.
Oh God, I've got too many. No, not like that kind of group chat. These are like, I mean, ones that I don't have to be professional in it. But we have it, and it's like we just put funny things in, like we share stuff. It's just It's called like, and the name changes all the time. There's someone in the group has Snapchat Premium, and there's an awful picture of me at Snatch game zoomed in, and I'm like this. They've caught me like mid pulling a face. Like,
I love that.
And it's like greasy side, like awful side profile. I was like, and it's literally the background, and I was like, someone changes, they refuse to change it. So you know who you are, change it.
I love that. I feel like we could talk for ages.
Yeah,
but
it's time.
We're on 32 minutes, babes.
Are we?
So
got to start a shift.
I know. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go home to bed.
Do you want to swap here?
Last thing, one thing I do like to ask people to end the podcast is if you can think of anything, person, song, food, story, anything that screams Liverpool to you, what would it be? And it can be anything.
Oh, there's too much. I would say, just the gay scene in whole. Like, I've spoke to you about it. There was that article written in, The Echo, and it explains it so well.
One about you?
Paul actually, Paul explained it to me better than I explained it to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you told him it, and he basically...
I told him it, and he wrote it down in words that actually made sense. Absolute genius is Paul.
It's kind of his job.
Yeah, it's great. That's the reason he does that job. But it was about, like, the scene and, Scousers and everything, just how it is so friendly and it's like a home. Liverpool I class it as my home, even though I'm not from here.
Yeah.
And the gay scene, it's done so much for me, and that's why I want to give back to it. So, the gay scene, everyone on it, all the venues, the bars, the people that I've met, people like Violet, who's done so much for me, Ruby, there's so many amazing queens, so many amazing performers, so many amazing people, Millie, one of the bar staff here, like, who I started with in Icon, like, all these tiny little friendships, these people who have done so much to, like, for me, and created Genevieve, like, boosted Joseph, I wouldn't be the person that I am without Liverpool gay scene and the people on it. So
that's really beautiful.
Yeah,
and you did say that really well.
Stoppy, innit?
No, it's lovely though. Like, this isn't the real Genevieve.
But don't let him see it. It's all fake. No. But yeah, people
really
like
lovely.
Robin and that, who I've met, all the friendships I've met on this gay scene due to this job and the people around me, and yeah, that's what it is.
That's lovely. No, that is really nice. Thank you. That was a bit of insightful into your brain when you're not trying to put a face on.
I know, innit? See, I am nice.
So where can people find you both online and if they're trying to find you out and about?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Genevieve_Renée. I think there's like a number in there replacing a letter somewhere.
I'm sure it'll pop up with Genevieve. It's a bit
lot
unique.
Of I's and E's, yeah. Everyone calls me Jen.
Yeah.
I brought this beautiful name and everyone just shortens it to Jen. I'm like, you bastards. And it's just happened. I respond to Jen. I get called Genevieve more than I do Joseph now. Just in general.
That tends to happen with drag queens, to be fair.
It's funny, isn't it? I was thinking that the other day. I can't remember the last time someone called me Joseph. And then I FaceTime my mum. And I was like, there we go.
There you go. You're in trouble because your mum's talking to you.
Yeah, you can find me at OMG every Tuesday. I'm at Mansion for Dream Boys every Saturday, but that's as Joseph. And I'm in the Old Queen's Head in Chester quite often. And then some charity event, probably.
Yeah.
Just to hear house at some point. Wednesdays, this will be going out after the comedy roast.
Yes, it will be.
So if you weren't there, you're an arsehole. You hate charity, you're homophobic. But I'll see you at the next
one that you're keeping to yourself.
Oh, we've got Snatch game in the pipeline.
Oh, again? Christmas.
It's on the first Thursday of December. It's booked in the diary.
It's in the diary? Ooh,
it's booked in the diary with the venue.
I
it's basically a similar cast, I think. Oh no, -1, but replaced with someone else. I've already done that. But
she works. She well ahead.
I know what I'm doing. Let me get this roast out the way, and
then we'll talk about
Snatch game. And then I was going to do something in between, but then I've actually decided I think I want to wait until the next year to do something.
And then maybe have a little look at the whole shebang.
Yeah.
I like that. Well,
we'll see.
If you want to follow the podcast, we're at Proudly Said on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to get in touch, it's hey@proudlysaid.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You go enjoy your shift.
No, I actually will. I actually love it. You know what? Tuesdays are actually my favourite. I actually love it. It's so fun. I can be a tit. And it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be chocolate on a Tuesday, so I can like mingle and actually just be dead stupid. Like, I will, like roll around on the floor, do something stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, Millie's up there now. Me and Millie are going to go and have an absolute ball. Listen to Todrick Hall and all the, the crap Drag Race songs that there are.
Jenna, say goodbye.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This is the outtakes, the bloopers. Bye!
You've been listening to Proudly Said. If it meant something to you, pass it on. If it didn't, maybe it will one day. Either way, stay kind, stay loud,